You're watching YurView.
Thank you for joining us. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends. It is a Friday. I hope you've had a great week. I know I'm looking forward to an incredible weekend. The weather's been amazing. And most importantly, let me say this. Hug me. I've been vaccinated. That is correct. I took my first vaccination shot this morning at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Let me tell you, I'm very impressed with everybody who was there because I found it very difficult to even find a way to sign up for the vaccination. Truth be told, it wasn't me. It was my girlfriend who did it. But we got our vaccination and we got all of our emails and our text messages, and we showed up at the Del Mar Fairgrounds today, and we whipped in and out like we were in line for a roller coaster, and we pulled right into the barn where the horses usually are during the summer. And this lovely volunteer came over to my car and she gave me the shot right here on my left arm. And so far, so good. But I'm telling you right now, I'm ready now. I'm ready to live again. I'm ready because the only reason I got this shot is because last Saturday night, I let my guard down. I met a great friend in a bar. His name is Omar. He and I were talking in somewhat close quarters. He spit a little bit, and it landed right here on my lip, and that was it. I was going for the shot. So let me say hello to mi hermano numero uno, Grande Alejandro. You got a shot.
I did. And I don't want to violate any HIPAA laws here, but are we all vaccinated? Or just two of the three of us?
Right now, 1.
2.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the podcast shed, he's bringing the street cred, John Browner.
Like the great man once said, the decision to vaccinate will be between me and my family.
Maybe Jared Dudley said that.
Maybe I already got the Johnson & Johnson. Maybe I didn't. Who knows?
We know you have at least the Johnson.
Stop it.
I would hope we all do. But if you don't, that's okay too. Okay.
Come on, man. This is television.
Oh, man. All right. Listen. Hey, so
Family
look,
show.
I want to say, right. I want to say to everybody who's with us today on a Friday, if you are listening on 1090 on the radio in the middle of the afternoon, I hope you're getting ready for a really awesome weekend. The weather has been great. And really, I know for me, on Fridays, I'm ready for the weekend. I really am. So hope everybody's getting ready. Listening on 1090, awesome. If you're watching this evening tonight on YurView on Channel 4 San Diego and in Santa Barbara, Channel 118 in Palos Verdes and in Orange County, awesome. For those of you that catch up over the weekend and you're on our audio podcast on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, or TuneIn, or Amazon Music, happy to have you guys. And we welcome you inside the 7 Mile Casino studios here on Kaplan and Crew. Okay. Gentlemen, you know, there's so much going on this weekend from UCLA in the Final Four. Major League Baseball had opening day yesterday, and the baseball season's going to keep rolling. The Lakers this weekend will play likely without Andre Drummond, their new addition. So I just got a lot of stuff on my mind, but I can't even get to any of that until I talk about what happened yesterday and the perpetuation of the story now today with the Chargers, Dea Spanos, and my favorite Spanos, the sister, Dea. Are
we going with Dea, or we're not going to go with D? We're going with Dea. That's actually her name, Dea.
I don't know what her name is. All I know, I never heard of her before. All I know is that Dean is Dean, and the sister's name is Dea. And when I showed a tweet to my girlfriend, she goes, "Wait, so what's the Drug Enforcement Administration have to do with all of this?" I'm like, "No, you don't get it. Like, his name is Dean and her name is Dea. I don't know if you call her D or Dea."
Oh, listen, but if the DEA did have something to do with this story, oh, baby, would it be a little more juicier?
Yeah, it would. So you got to understand, yesterday's opening day, and we come on the air under the expectation, and we wake up yesterday under the expectation that we are going to be talking Padres and maybe a little bit of Dodgers mixed in. But once the Spanos family gets nationally humiliated because little sister tells the world that big brother, Dean, has been borrowing so much money. By the way, so much money that he made $22 million of commitments to charitable organizations that right now Dean is telling them you'll have to wait. And they're like, but you see, we operate on this notion that you made a $10 million donation and you're going to give us $1 million a year. And now you're not going to give us the $1 million this year. What are we going to do with our organization? You committed it. And so when sister tells the world that brother has no plan, his plan is hope, and that he's thinking about selling the team after the 2024 season, sister is saying, we're in huge debt. Our one family asset is this football team. Forbes says it's worth $2.6 billion. I say put it on the open market and let's see how much we can get for it. Let's cash out, pay our bills, and let's all go on living on private jets, country clubs, and living in mansions. But now to have the sister and the brother publicly fighting. Again, this story in San Diego, right? This story in San Diego, blip on the map. This story in LA, while a blip on the LA sports map, a huge national embarrassment. The front page of the LA Times, okay? And the entire NFL, yet again, laughing at the Spanos family. And by the way, it doesn't take long for the master manipulator himself, Mr. Crisis Manager himself, Mark Fabiani, to get involved. Fabiani had a quote, and let me put it up on the screen for you here. Alex, you should probably read this since, you know,
I'm the dramatic reader of the show.
Your eyes are so much better, yeah.
This is a quote from Mark Fabiani in the OC Register. It's a completely made-up issue. The court petition deals only with the 36%, the trust. The 36%, which is a major asset of the trust, is worth far, far more than the trust owes anyone. So the idea that the trust somehow needs money, that's just completely made up. The trust has assets that are far, far in excess of its liabilities.
Yeah, tell me something I don't know.
Right.
Smartass. Okay, tell me something I don't know, Mark. Like, we get it. The debts may be $1 billion and the franchise may be worth $3.5 billion. And yeah, the asset outweighs the debt. Okay. It doesn't take somebody to, run the Fed to understand the math here. And believe me, I'm no economist, but here's the thing. Mark Fabiani is a manipulator. Do not trust what he says. Do not believe what he says. We have all learned the hard way. But now this is setting up for a heavyweight championship fight, man.
Ding, 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 ding.
In this corner, the master manipulator, okay, Mark Fabiani. And in this corner is a guy named Adam Streisand, who helped Jeannie Buss get control of the Lakers, helped Steve Ballmer take control of the Clippers. And this guy has a resume.
Is helping Britney Spears free herself.
This is a guy who has a resume that says he kicks ass.
Yeah.
And I think Mark Fabiani has just met his match.
When you've got to look at it like this way too. Once this gets into court, this guy's a smart lawyer. He's going to go into the books of how this operates. He's going to make their literal financial life very public. And then this is going to show what she's saying is that we don't have the money. So we need to sell this team because we need the money now. What's something that's worth, and anything down the line, 2024, whatever this other stuff is about, she's going to talk about the present and what they don't have now. And that's got to scare the NFL. That's got to scare Dean. And if I wore a Chargers uniform, I would be paying a lot of close attention to this. Yes, my check's going to clear. But at the end of the day, what's about the facility? What about the way we fly? What about the way we're treated? What about the organizational security? Like, I would be very worried all around if I had anything to do with this organization.
Well, doesn't this really tell you about every year when we talk about injuries? Every year, it's because this franchise does not spend money on their players.
Their doctor punctured their quarterback's lung. Like, let's go back to that. We've got a great reference point that they don't spend money. Their doctor punctured their starting quarterback's lung. Luckily, that led to Herbert playing. But nevertheless, what a bonehead mistake. Yeah, for me. For you guys, not so much.
And then yesterday,
Right.
if you listen to or watch the show, we had Rafi from Bolted Podcast on. They had Joe Barksdale, who was a tackle for like a year or two for the Chargers. And he goes off, he's like, there's nothing good about playing for the Chargers. In San Diego, and if you've ever been to the Chargers park, the food hall was a tent. Let me say that again. A professional NFL franchise's food hall, their cafeteria where players eat, was a tent
Well, by the way,
permanently.
that was before tents were fashionable. That was
Right.
pre-COVID.
Right.
Yeah. This
You know?
wasn't an outdoor dining mandation. This was what we decided to do was carpet some cement and put some pop-up tent like it's a quinceañera. Like that's
Yeah.
basically what they did.
Right. And Barksdale, who was no superstar, and by the way, he came at the absolute worst time to be a Charger.
Yeah.
You know, he came when everybody was down on the franchise and
Oh, he
down on
hates
the
us too.
ownership. And yeah. So Barksdale had a lot of really biting criticism for the Chargers. But listen, it's the same thing LaDainian Tomlinson said. LaDainian Tomlinson, obviously now ambassador to the franchise. What did LT say to us on 1090 years ago? Hey, LT, you're playing for the Jets now. Do me a favor. Compare the Jets facilities and the way they operate versus the Chargers. And LT was like, oh my God, it's like night and day. The Jets, you know, you walk in, they got professional massage therapists. They've got, really great dining hall and phenomenal food. And they do everything. This is the Jets. And these were the Jets that LaDainian Tomlinson played for, that played against the Patriots, as I recall, in an AFC championship game. And so he would then say, like the Chargers, it's garbage. The Chargers don't do anything, you know? And they don't. Listen, if you went and saw what the Green Bay Packers do for their players and their facilities, and you saw the Chargers in LA and their facilities, you'd be like, which one is the LA team here?
Right. Can I also say this I don't care the turnout of what happens with the petition and the filings and who owns the team. I actually prefer that Dean continues to own the team because it's actually brings me plenty of enjoyment to see the considered failures over and over and over. But what I said yesterday, and I mean it, is I hope this drags on for weeks, if not months, until football season actually starts. Because like Scott, you've said this yesterday, the Spanos family has been fighting internally for years about this issue. And now, luckily for us, specifically this show, we get to see it out in public, which is a
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful thing. So, regardless if the Spanos end up selling it and Jeff Bezos comes in, great, whatever. Because at the end of the day, you know what the harm is going to be? The Spanos family gets $4 billion. There's no harm in that.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is that if Jeff Bezos buys the team, which was speculated yesterday in the LA Times, the hatred you have for the Chargers, it's like gone because the ownership is who you really hate. Now you say, well, would you become a fan again? The answer is no for me. That's a no for me. I've moved on. I'm a Rams fan now. I'm a general NFL fan like I've always been. And I don't feel like my connection to the Chargers would ever come back if the ownership changed. For me, it's a no. Now if they move back to San Diego,
Yeah.
then
That's a
I'm
different
a
sport.
yes. Then I'm a yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So listen,
Okay, can I ask
obviously
you a
that's
question?
a very hot story. Go ahead.
Real quick to finish up, and then I know we'll move on. But in the conversations you had off air yesterday with people, you said you know people that have invested in NFL and MLB franchises. Is there already chatter about this becoming a real possibility of they're going to have to sell this team? Is that have you had any conversations that's leading you to that already one day in?
I had one guy yesterday who's been all over me for years, by the way, about putting together a group to buy the Chargers and bring them home.
Drew Brees?
And it's not Drew Brees, but this guy is listen, I'm just going to tell you, he's a hot shot lawyer, and he's made a fortune, and he got big money and friends with big money.
JG
And he started
Wentworth?
text.
Ooh, it's my money. I want it now.
No, not that person.
Okay, that's the only lawyer I see commercials for.
Yeah. So this guy was texting me yesterday. He's blowing me up. He's like, "See, man, we should be putting this group together," And and I was like, "Listen, I think that the NFL has a hit list of guys who are next in line, who they're recruiting. I've told the story 1,000 times. For anybody that's watching on TV tonight that's never heard it, I go do these radio broadcasts down in Dallas every year for Thanksgiving. I get a chance to talk to Jerry Jones, mano y mano. Jerry Jones said many years ago, if Stan Kroenke, the owner of the Rams, didn't already own an NFL football team, we'd be recruiting a guy like that. Do you not think that Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft and Roger Goodell and anybody else, especially that's new big money, you don't think these people, if they could connect to, if they haven't already, that they're trying to get a guy like Jeff Bezos? I mean, Jeff Bezos is a $190 million guy, one of the richest guys in the world. No problem. I'll take it. The question is, does Jeff Bezos want to be secondary in a stadium in LA, or might he say, you know what, this is stupid. San Diego is the home of the Chargers. Let's go move him down there.
The best part about if Bezos, to play fantasy for a second, the best part about Jeff Bezos, if he managed to buy this team, you know that he wouldn't need a penny from anybody to bring that team back to here or build a stadium somewhere there. And he can have that stadium up faster than you think because Amazon is not unionized and he can just have them build a stadium.
I said this yesterday and I firmly believe it. Your second fiddle in LA is the Chargers because Dea Spanos is your owner.
Right.
If Jeff Bezos comes in, watch out, Kroenke. Kroenke gonna be pissed if Jeff Bezos is the owner.
It's gonna change it's gonna change everything. They will now be the hot team. They've got a cool owner who is Amazon. Like literally, he is Amazon, and now he owns a team in Los Angeles.
Kroenke would be out of his mind. Out of his mind. I built this whole stadium. He pays $1 in rent a year. That was a charity case for the Spanoses. Now this guy can buy me and sell me 500 times.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
And Kroenke overspent to build the stadium, remember, because the cost overrun, and Dean did nothing to help.
I know. Very interesting. Dea Spanos, little sis. Much love, girlfriend. You were awesome. That was great. Okay, let me switch my attentions here for a couple of minutes. And let me say to all the TV viewers, because the radio listeners and the podcast listeners and the YouTubers, they're already in on this. This is important stuff. Very, very, very important to the show. We have been running a John Browner hot take bracket challenge alongside the NCAA tournament. I never thought UCLA would make it to the Final Four. They had to play their way in against Michigan State. They had to grind their way through the top seeds in their bracket. And now UCLA has a shot at the number 1 team in the country, totally undefeated Gonzaga. Okay. While the NCAA tournament has been running, we've been running this Browner hot take challenge. And let me tell everybody what the rules are here. At the end, the winner is the hot take that Browner must eliminate from his repertoire. Alex, if you could take us through this real quick, and then we can talk about the voting, because it's going to close this weekend, and we have an upset in the making, and I need your help, friends. Grande.
Right, so we are at the final, the championship of Browner's hot takes, and right now, the number 2 seed, Carson Wentz, is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, is leading 54% to the number 4 seed that Browner thinks O.J. Simpson is innocent. That's a near 46% there.
Does everybody understand the rules here? Put that back up on the screen if you don't mind, Grande. This is cited.co. This is the website. You can download the app Cited Debates for iOS or for Android. And this is something I've been working on for a long time. So if you're new to the show, radio or TV, I'd love it if you would download this app. Here's the thing. If OJ wins, Browner never says that OJ's innocent again. If Carson Wentz is a top 5 quarterback wins, he'll always be able to keep saying OJ's innocent. And he'll have to give up what was a horrendous take from the beginning that Carson Wentz is a top 5 quarterback.
Right. He'll never say that. Listen, if OJ loses, Browner will never say Carson Wentz is a top 5 quarterback because he's just not. But the OJ thing will hurt his feelings if he can't say that anymore.
Look, I'm gonna listen. I will abide by the rules. If OJ wins, it will be an upset to some, not to many. But if he does, if Carson Wentz wins, then he's gonna prove it this season anyway with the Colts. And so I'll be equally upset that I cannot then come out and be like, I told y'all Carson Wentz top 5.
No, you won't. Well, he's not gonna do that. But what we should have done, Scott, I know we've already said he cannot say that take anymore. What we really should have done is had him say the opposite. We would have forced him to
Right.
say O.J. Simpson is guilty. Like that would have been
Mhm.
the nail in the
Too
coffin of
late.
the hot take. I know it's
Yeah.
too late.
I know it is. We've already made the rules. So here's the thing. Can I get everybody to do me a favor? There's no way that this Carson Wentz should beat this OJ take. Alex, one more time on the screen. Go to cited.co. That's the website. Or better yet, go to the Cited Debates mobile app. This is our account, Kaplan and Crew. Follow us. We'll follow you back. And get involved in show conversations and help dictate the course of where we're going. Please, great friends, vote for OJ is innocent so that OJ is innocent wins and Browner can't say it anymore. Help a brother out. I'm the brother. All right, coming up, Beer Friday. Now, for those of you that are first-time TV viewers, Beer Friday. Alex says this is my greatest idea of all time. We taste and test beers. Alex, who's our beer coming up?
The Godfather of Beer Friday, Jeff Lozano and Ballast Point is joining us today.
Oh, man. What does Ballast Point have for us? I hope we get to try a stout, now that I've become a big stout guy. Ballast Point Beer Friday next.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Arash Markazi here, inviting you to catch my show, The Arash Markazi Show, on the mightier 1090. We are on every Monday through Friday from noon to 1 p.m. Pacific time. Join me and producer extraordinaire G. Hay Wiley, where we chop up Los Angeles sports and try not to piss too many people off.
The all-new and mightier 1090.
Victor Howell here, host of the NCAA Tournament Special, Advance to Indianapolis. Each week, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local teams all the way to the Final Four in Indianapolis. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and more as we advance to Indianapolis on YurView.
Brought to you by the Multicultural Health Foundation. Together against COVID. Visit blackcovidfactssd.org. City in Motion is brought to you by McDonald's. Stop by your local participating McDonald's now through April 25th and make a donation, or visit walkforkids.org to support.
Hi, I'm Vince Bryson, CEO of Ronald McDonald House Charities of Southern California. Welcome to the 2020 Virtual Walk for Kids.
The little coronavirus pandemic will not stop our show because we are still going to walk for these kids.
You guys want to do the Walk for Kids virtually this year?
Yeah! Today is Walk for Kids, you guys, virtually. So we love it, love it, love it.
Let's get this walk started.
We are going to start. So I'm going to be walking around my backyard.
Doing the 5K walk. We're here in front of the beautiful Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum.
So we are getting ready to do lap 3.
We're here to send our support.
I love the excitement. I love the energy. Let's keep it going.
If you want to know the reason why I'm walking, it's because I care about the kids and the families that stay at our house.
I walk for the Los Angeles Ronald McDonald House for kids like me, so they can have a place to call their home away from home.
To me, the Ronald McDonald House means love, care, hope, and support.
The families and children of RMHC need our help and support now more than ever. So thank you for joining our virtual walk and continuing to support our Ronald McDonald House even during these difficult times.
Thank you so much for coming together, for showing that we can unite and be together even though we're not at our respective locations.
Thank you for participating in this virtual walk.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks for all your help and support, and stay well.
Ronald McDonald House Charities of SoCal gives families with sick kids the best medicine, each other. Stop by your local McDonald's today and make a donation or visit walkforkids.org to support. City in Motion, highlighting great things in our community like Ronald McDonald House Charities. Give families with sick kids the best medicine, each other.
Pete Gray here, inviting you to catch my show, Let's Talk Hookup, every Saturday and Sunday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific Time. For over 30 years, we've been the voice of the fishing community for Southern California, and so glad to be back on the big stick.
The all-new and mightier 1090.
Adios, love handles.
Adios, couch.
Adios, Quarantine 15.
Say adios to the quarantine bod with Pollo Fit Bowls, made with fire-grilled chicken and organic super greens from El Pollo Loco.
Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community.
Hi, I'm Erica Cardenas. Join me on the next Doing More as we celebrate the many accomplishments of women during Women's History Month.
Doing More, Sunday and Monday night on YurView. Sponsored by The Burns Firm, partnering with Shelter to Soldier and saving lives 2 at a time. Visit theburnsfirm.com/shelter to soldier and help save more lives.
We have a term for typical cheese-filled, grease-covered, regret-inducing takeout. That's why dinner from El Pollo Loco is always fire-grilled, freshly prepared, feel-good food. The $20 Familia Dinner from El Pollo Loco.
Kaplan and Crew tonight presents Let's Talk Hookup.
Hi, this is Pete Gray with this week's Fish Report. Better weather this week, got a lot of boats out on the water, and some improved conditions meant more sightings of the yellowtail at the Coronado Islands. Still not a lot of volume there, but look for that to improve because the water conditions look good and the weather gets better. We're going to see a lot more yellowtail moving into the islands. Offshore, there was some yellowtail under the kelp patties down on the hidden bank, so that's a good sign coming up there. And then Catalina, San Clemente Island, there was squid for sale out in front of Avalon for a couple of days. Sea bass and yellowtail were kind of a no-show, but there's a lot of talk up there right now, and you know how that is. People just kind of get quiet sometimes. A lot of day-and-a-half boats going out tonight, so we're going to really hear some good action this weekend on Let's Talk Hookup about the bluefin tuna. And the Royal Polaris came back this morning with limits of wahoo and big yellowfin tuna from the lower banks. Tune in to Let's Talk Hookup this Saturday and Sunday, 7 to 9 a.m. We'll have all the action for you on the Mightier 1090 and the Let's Talk Hookup app.
Let's Talk Hookup airs on Mightier 1090, Saturday and Sundays, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Attention, all dogs, cats, horses, tortoises, birds, pigs, and all other pets. Get your family members to sit, stay, and watch Animal Zone every Saturday at 9 p.m. right here on this channel and at animalzone.org.
Tune in Saturdays at 9 p.m. to watch Animal Zone right here on YurView.
Victor Howell here, host of the NCAA Tournament Special, Advance to Indianapolis. Each week, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local teams all the way to the Final Four in Indianapolis. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and more as we advance to Indianapolis on YurView.
Brought to you by the Multicultural Health Foundation. Together against COVID. Visit blackcovidfactssd.org.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the Mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and YurView, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
All right, great friends. On a Beer Friday, it is time to bring back the Godfather of Beer Friday, and that is Jeff Lozano from Ballast Point. But let me explain why, though, okay? Let me explain the story here. So today is our first Beer Friday on TV. So you've been hearing us talk Beer Friday on 1090. You've heard about it on podcast. You've seen it all play out on YouTube. But today's our first Beer Friday on TV. So for everybody that's new to the show, on Channel 4 San Diego and Santa Barbara, Channel 118 in Orange County and Palos Verdes, let me introduce you to the guy who is really the Godfather of Beer Friday from Ballast Point, Jeff Lozano on Kaplan and Crew. Godfather, how are you today?
You're too kind. You're too kind, and congratulations for the new airwave. It's awesome.
It is kind of interesting, isn't it? Like, because Alex knows this well, but about a year and a half ago, I went to this conference called the National Association of Broadcasters. I'd never been there before.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I'd been in broadcasting 25 years, never been. So I go there and I see this guy. His name's Dave Ramsey. He's a, nationally syndicated radio guy. What would you say, Browner? Like a Christian-y, like financial fixer.
Yeah, he's
guy.
the money guy, right? He's that money
the
guy.
Jesus of help you with your money.
Mm-hmm.
He tells you after you put your deposit in the collection plate what you should do with the rest of it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So I see this guy, Ramsey, right? And he's got this network, and it says it's got a radio tower. It's got a YouTube logo. It's got like an Alexa logo. It's got all these different logos of the different ways that you can hear his radio content, right? So I come back to Alex and I go, listen, you know what we got to do? We got to get back on radio. Like, we were just podcasting. So we got to get back on radio. So then we got back on radio. We got back on 1090. But then because the guy who bought 1090, kind of a progressive thinking guy, he said, well, I'm going to get us onto TV too. And that's how we got here. So now, Jeff, we got TV, radio, YouTube, and all the audio podcast platforms.
Look at you guys.
Dude, 2 years ago, we were just on radio, AM radio. Like, yo, everybody come to us on radio. Now we're like, you got your phone? We're coming to you.
Well, you guys are on fire, and you guys are fun. I think you got a good show. I mean, none of that happens without having a good show, man. So kudos to you guys.
Well, kudos to Alex and to Browner. Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Yesterday, listen, this is like a big old like butt kissing fest today because yesterday Scott celebrated his 20-year anniversary on the radio in San Diego. So shout out to Scott.
Yeah.
Look, good things. It deserves
good show, good beer. Let's do it.
That should be a perfect time to toast as a group to this.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay, Jeff, what beer should we start with here today on Friday?
Listen, in honor of everything going on, in honor of your history, in honor of where you guys are going as a show, in honor of the Padres, and in honor of us, I styled you guys out with a little bit of the new, a little bit of the old, and a little bit of the, just fun,
spicy,
right? But I got you guys our brand new beers, the Brothers Gus, Wee Gus, and Big Gus. One's a hoppy lager, 4.5% ABV. One's a IPA, 6.5% ABV, but they look the same. They look identical, but they're two different beers. We kind of let our R&D facility down a little Italy, have some fun, and get a little carried away, and this is what they came up with. So as we're going to go in a flight tasting order from least intense to most intense, let's start with the Wee Gus.
Okay. All right. And I'm going to show you my beer drinking glass today. How's that?
I have one too.
Yeah, dog.
Official.
Yeah.
Official. And Browner, shout out to Browner come busting out his Mujeres brew house.
I usually just drink out the can.
Love them.
No, you want to pour this one out, gents, because we put a lot of effort into making this the aesthetically pleasing beer, right? So you want to look at it, and it's very interesting. It's the lightest beer we've ever brewed as far as the color spectrum is concerned. It's lowest color, lightest color, whatever you want to call it, that we've ever done. So it's kind of cool. They're interesting. They're both really hoppy, but they're not bitter. So you got to wrap your head around what I'm about to say, but bear with me. It's a clear hazy concept that we're kind of going for here. Now, clear hazy, what does that mean and how do you do it? Well, hazy IPAs, New England style IPAs, what they're really known for besides being very murky, opaque, and hazy, obviously, it's their flavor profile. And the flavor profile has a lot of hop, but not a lot of bitterness. It has a very soft, rounded bitterness. So that's what we were trying to achieve with this. So like the homage to hazy that we're doing with this beer is really that a lot of late addition hopping, which means that you don't really heat it up, which means those oils don't get isomerized, which means you don't get a lot of bitterness, but you get all of the floral, all of that hoppiness. What do you think?
Let us go to John Browner with an initial reaction. JB, thoughts?
When he started talking about the hazy portion of it, I was like, uh-oh, because we know how I feel about them hazy IPAs. But this does not taste like that. This tastes like the normal beers that I'm really into. So the fact that the wee Gus may be the wee I want to go. This is it. This is the me and the we. I like this a lot.
All right, let me give you my initial thought here.
Please.
So as you know, again, hazy IPAs not for me.
Right.
So originally I'm going, oh my God, what's he giving us here? I taste it, and what I don't love about hazy IPAs is what I actually do love about this beer, which is when I sip it, I don't get that bittery thing at the end at all. In fact, because of the color and because of the lack of bitterness, it kind of feels to me like a straight lager, not a hoppy lager.
Okay, yeah. I think that's a good way of looking at it.
It doesn't fight you when you're drinking it. Like normally, what we had with the IPAs, the hazies, it fights your mouth as it's like, oh, taste this, taste this, taste that, taste this, taste that. This is just like, just drink me, bro.
Yeah, like it's jabbing you with all that stuff, and then there's this like uppercut, a fistful of bitterness that just gets you right in the jaw, but not this.
Right.
Am I wrong when I say it doesn't taste like it smells? Like it's.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because this confusion, we're trying to muster that up. We're trying to do something new. We're trying to do something new and innovative. And one of the interesting things about this beer is what you said. It doesn't taste the way it looks, which is kind of strange, right? Like, what do you mean it doesn't taste like it looks? And so we're kind of playing around with our senses here.
Because when I cracked it, I felt like I just opened the door to the brewery with all the hoppy smells, and then when you drink it, you're like, yo, this is this is like the lightest, most easiest thing to drink.
Give me a lawnmower, give me a barbecue.
What's the word that we've learned, Scott?
Let me tell you what this beer is. You ready for this, Godfather? Jeff Lozano, Ballast Point. You want to know what this beer is?
What is it?
Crushable.
Whoa! Do you guys have a little beer? Like, you guys don't have a soundboard or anything?
We not on Zoom, but we normally do.
Yeah.
Well, I finished half of it already, so I like it.
Good. So let's move on to Big Gus, because time is limited, beer is scarce, and we don't have a lot of time on this planet. So let's go to Big Gus.
What's up with the names? Wee Gus, Big Gus.
Approachable. They're cute. Our new ownership, Kings and Convicts. They're having fun, man. They're having fun. So Brendan and Chris, one's an Australian dude that's wild and out, and
that's my guy. What up, bro?
Yeah, dude, that guy's cool, man. And so is Chris. And Chris is an Englishman, but this kind of has a little bit more of this fun essence behind it.
Who can?
Yeah, shout out to Paul Elder. How about that? And
are these the original drawings?
So yeah, so this new packaging that we've just come out with, because we're turning 25 this year. But one of the campaigns that we're kind of rolling with is this complete art campaign, right? So it's art inside of the can, art outside of the can. And what you can see is Paul Elder's original sketch, and then it kind of bleeds into the beer, and then it bleeds into the final product, which I thought was kind of cool. But pour this out and trip out on how identical it looks to the other one.
You know what's amazing, though? Like, you've taught us about pouring beers, and I always thought you had to pour it like sideways so that you don't get head, but you've told us that the head is good, right? I mean, you want it to...
You want head, man. You want head. Like, don't get confused by
more ways than one.
Well, don't get confused by Applebee's trying to pour all that frothy head out to give you a bang for your buck when it's a craft beer, and we put so much time and effort into making it smell pretty, because that's a lot of money going into just making it smell pretty. The head, the foam, the carbonation is actually your friend, right? It makes the beer a lot more effervescent, and what you're hopefully getting right now is a nose full of of tropical citrusy hops. We used Amarillo, we used Mosaic and Cashmere hops for this beer. And for all you beer geeks out there, you giggled a little bit. I heard it. And it's essentially a bone dry beer. Both of them are bone dry beers, and they're a little bit more carbonated. So they have this spritzy component, and they're both hoppy, but they're not too bitter. This one does hit you at a 6.5 though. So,
okay. What was the other one?
4.5.
Okay. So let me say this. Let me give you my instant opinion. I don't taste a whole lot of difference, which I think is good for me, because I would have thought that the difference in the name and the difference in the alcohol content would have hit me with a lot more bitterness. Like, that's what I was expecting. Right. I don't know about you, Browner, but like, I'm not getting a whole lot of bitter, because again, we're not usually IPA drinkers, and I'm not getting a lot of bitterness out of this beer at all. In fact, it feels kind of light.
I think this beer is going to be interesting for people who try it if they think they're getting the traditional hazy, if they think they're getting a traditional IPA just because of what it says. It's a completely different drink. I dig it.
You know what do you think, Alex? We need your opinion here, because
come on,
we're amateurs.
Well, I think it tastes very different, but in the aftertaste.
Yeah, so, I'm getting that now a little bit.
I think the easiness, which I don't know if this is crushable because of the percentage, but it's easy to drink, and then you taste everything that Jeff described after. You can feel it a little bit on your jawline,
but much less than like other bittery IPAs.
I think that we are on a run recently of heavy IPAs. And these two guys have been kind of scared away from the IPAs, and this is not that heavy IPA.
I think a lot of people have been on this IPA run, and the more hops per per barrel, the better. And that's great. But I think it's time for a little palate cleansing and refresh. That's why you got some of like guys like Epic, shout out to Clayton out there, making beer that's a lot more in this German-esque world where light lagers, very easy drinking, not too bitter and stuff like that. That's what we're trying to do here, but we're still trying to make it super flavorful, but you can drink it cautiously. The 6.5, the Big Gus, cautiously, because that one does sneak up on you. It is still 6.5%, but it doesn't really taste that way.
Right.
And that was the aim.
It does not taste that way.
And what we were trying to do creatively was make beers where the differences are there, but you kind of like have to scratch.
So
you got to dig deep for them.
Can I ask a question that I don't even know if it's a dumb question, but do you guys sell this beer together? Like, do you go 3 and 3 in a 6-pack or 2 and 2 in a 4-pack?
No, we don't. But I think because they're brand new and we're not really necessarily sure which one people like the most or which style people are really going to gravitate to.
We Gus.
Dude, I think We Gus is right now in the front runner. When I talk to people about the two and what they like, but out in the wild, out in the market, we're seeing the Big Gus is selling relatively well, because I think the bang for your buck factor starts to really come in when you go out to buy a 6-pack, where it's 6.5 and easy drinking. Yeah, go ahead. I
just think it's what we just did. I feel like people should drink it like that. Drink a Wee Gus first, and then drink a Big Gus after, because they are so, I think they're very similar, but so different. I know it's a very confusing thing what I just said, but I promise you it makes sense once you drink them.
When you guys are making these beers, do you think about like novice beer drinkers when you're putting these things together? Like guys like Scott and myself who don't necessarily gravitate toward these types of beers. Are we in your thought process when these beers are being constructed?
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We're trying to make a well-rounded portfolio. So even though there's beers like Victory at Sea that seem very on one side of the spectrum, which it is, we're still taking everybody into consideration. And if it's not everybody's beer, the consideration comes with innovation and our release of something like Wee Gus, right? Oh, they don't want something that's super bitter and enamel ripping, but they also might want a hoppiness. So where do we meet in the middle? So that's something like Swinging Friars Ale. This is a beer that will.
You're such a pro.
Dude, very nice transition. Hey, while you're transitioning, give me 1 second. I just want to mention all the radio listeners out there that this is Jeff Lozano from Ballast Point. He's the godfather of Beer Friday. We've already tried 2 different Ballast Points products today, Wee Gus and Big Gus, and we're about to go into the Swinging Friar, which, listen, I think everybody pretty much knows this beer, but we're going to talk about it in a second. I do want to just mention real quickly, this is guy stuff right here, fellas. This is real guy stuff, you know. This is, and so I want to mention that, yes, Browner, and I've already got a little bit of a buzz, so give me a break, man. It gives me a chance to mention my friends at the Total T Clinic. Fellas, you want to stay healthy, you want to stay strong, you want to perform in the bedroom, you get a little bit older, your testosterone levels drop, you start to feel tired and weak, and you're like, what's going on with me? You come to Total T, give us 15 minutes, we'll test it out, and if you need testosterone, I'm telling you, you're going to go from feeling the way you do today to like run through a wall kind of good. You know, and so I just want to tell all the guys out there, if you're feeling that way, if you're feeling slow and tired and sluggish and you're not getting it done in the bedroom, I'm telling you right now, come to the Total T Clinic. Let's talk about it. TotalTClinic.com, TotalTClinic.com. And Jeff, what do we got next?
Well, gentlemen, we won yesterday in an opening day game, and man, did this Friar Ale taste good. This is the Padres craft beer. Ballast Point is the official craft beer of the San Diego Padres. We're really excited about having an extension on that relationship. Our team looks solid, and I think that there's going to be a lot of this particular beer consumed. Not only is it a good beer, but look at that artwork, man. That is the brown and gold. And this season, all season long, we're celebrating Friar Fridays, and all that is just go grab yourself some Friar Ale, wear your brown and gold during the game, and then Swinging Friar Ale is $5 at all the San Diego tasting rooms every time we play. So let's get into the beer.
All right.
And so I'm glad that you poured it, Scott. You're learning. But this is the one that I want to drink out of the can sometimes. So I'm really, unless you have the official glassware that Alex Padilla has.
Oh, let me taste it out of the can.
I like it out of the can too.
Now this is, you call it a happy pale ale. What's the alcohol content of this beer?
It is a happy hoppy pale ale. It is a 5.5, which is, I think, the sweet spot as far as ABV is concerned. 5.5 will get you through a 6-pack, and you're gonna be on a good one. But 5.5 is also something that you can one and done it, and you feel like you got enough. It took you there, maybe 1 or 2. But when we were designing this beer for the Padres, what was in mind is ballpark. What are you doing at the ballpark, man? You're sitting around for an extended period of time, watching your boys do their thing, and you don't want to get up to grab beers more than you really have to, right? So we gave visitors a nice San Diego welcoming as far as the hop component. So it is a hoppy, a little bit more of a bitter beer, but it's not going to put you off if you don't like hops, not necessarily, at least. I think what we were looking for was a ballpark IPA or ballpark pale ale, which is no matter where you're coming from, you can enjoy this beer. But even if you're a hop head and you're local going to the game, it's still scratching that itch. It's still scratching that, hey, all right, that's the hoppiness that I'm looking for. I'm in San Diego. I want a hoppy beer. It's Ballast Point, and we're synonymous with bitter hoppy beers, dude. So I thought it was just a perfect beer, single hop. So all it has is 1 hop, Simcoe. And so you really don't have a lot of wiggle room, which is it's good sometimes and it's bad other times. For us, it's good because it allows us to showcase this particular hop. And it's a really light, easy drinking beer. This is crushable too.
I got to say that
dude, totally crushable.
And I got to disagree with you. One thing, you said that you made this, you designed this beer for the Padres. No, you designed this beer for me. This right here. This is exactly. Padre. I mean, listen, a little inside info. I've asked Jeff for cases of this just for myself at the house. This is, to me, my favorite Ballast Point beer. This gets the Padilla stamp of approval for everybody should drink this. I'm pretty sure everybody has already drank this. Yeah. But if you haven't, you need to.
But here's my problem. Yeah. I'm going to tell you my problem right now. And Browner, I don't know if you're feeling the same way. Here's my problem. This guy right here, the Big Gus. Jeff said earlier, he's like, this is going to creep up because it's 6.5, right? Well, it's crept up.
What happens now? Ooh.
Okay. So now
we sober him up then?
So now I'm drinking this Friar Ale and it's so good. This is so crushable. I can't believe I love this out of the can. I cannot. It's so not like me.
Scott, let me tell you something. The first time I came on this show and gave you a hoppy beer, I did not think this day was going to come. Where you holding up a relatively bitter beer. I mean, this is supposed to be something that even hopheads will like, and you're loving it.
Yeah, I'm not turned off in the slightest bit by, ooh, it's too bitter. In fact, I don't even feel like I taste it, which I like to taste it, but I don't dislike the taste of it. And now I know that I like the Swingin' Friar Ale. Browner, what do you think, man? Let me hear what you think.
Dude, this has always been bomb. I think this, one, it tastes great, but two, the partnership is such a solid time to partner up with a franchise, an organization that's going nowhere but up. And this, listen, if you're going to go up, you might as well, sip on your way up.
Catch me at Park at the Park tonight. Catch me at Park at the Park tonight drinking this beer.
Ooh, so are you going to be? You going to be at the game?
Invite?
Oh, look at this guy.
Is that a mass invite?
Now he's trying to go to a game.
I think we have one extra ticket, Jeff.
Well, I went yesterday, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed there anymore after the amount of fun I had, man. But, one of the nice things about this beer is that even if you stumble upon it and you want to drink it, buy it, whatever, just because it looks cool, a lot of people just buy stuff because it looks cool.
Jeff Lozano, the Godfather of Beer Friday. Cheers to you, my brother. Put it up, man. Give it to me.
Salud.
Yeah, there you go. Right on.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Catch Kaplan and Crew Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. If you've listened to Scott Kaplan the last 20 years, you know one thing. He likes to stir up some A new generation of radio. The all-new and mightier 1090.
Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community.
Hi, I'm Erica Cardenas. Join me on the next Doing More as we celebrate the many accomplishments of women during Women's History Month.
Doing More, Sunday and Monday night on YurView. Sponsored by The Barnes Firm, partnering with Shelter to Soldier and saving lives two at a time. Visit thebarnesfirm.com/shelter to soldier and help save more lives. From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health.
I'm Erica Cardenas, and on the next episode of Your Health, we're helping you up your nutrition game. Expert advice on how to make simple changes to better nutrition and delicious energy bites with only 5 ingredients.
Watch Your Health Sunday, Monday, and Thursday only on YurView or stream it online at YurView.com. Kaplan and Crew tonight presents Sports in a Minute.
Game 1 of 162 is in the books with a W next to it for the Padres. The Friars beat the Diamondbacks 8-7 on Thursday to get the 2021 season started. In his second career opening day start, Yu Darvish went 4 2/3 innings and allowed 4 runs on 8 hits, including 2 home runs. He struck out 6 and walked 1. Eric Hosmer and Will Myers both homered off of Diamondbacks' Madison Bumgarner in the 3rd inning. Hosmer went 3 for 4 on the day with 3 RBI. Jake Cronenworth had himself a day as well, going 2 for 2 and scoring 3 runs. The Clippers' hot streak ended on Tuesday with a loss to the Magic, and now a losing streak has emerged. On Thursday night, the Clippers lost to the Nuggets 101-94. The Clippers will match up against the Lakers on Sunday, who are still likely to be without LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I'm Haley Stasiak. That's your Sports in a Minute. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Rich Eisen here, inviting you to catch my show, The Rich Eisen Show, on our flagship radio station, the Mightier 1090. We're on every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to noon Pacific time. You'll like what you hear. If not, that's just, I guess, too bad.
A new generation of radio. The all-new and Mightier 1090.
Explore the Southwest lifestyle, the culture, the music, the food, y más. Join hosts J.R. Cardenas and Vanessa Ramirez on Su Vida.
March is the month that we associate with the color green.
And what better place to bring it in than Moon Valley Nurseries, where we're surrounded by green and every other color of the rainbow.
We're celebrating the planting of the green on the next
Su Vida.
Watch Su Vida Sunday and Monday night only on YurView and YurView.com. Su Vida. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community.
Hi, I'm Erica Cardenas. Join me on the next Doing More as we celebrate the many accomplishments of women during Women's History Month.
Doing More Sunday and Monday night on YurView. Sponsored by The Burns Firm, partnering with Shelter to Soldier and saving lives 2 at a time. Visit theburnsfirm.com/shelter to soldier and help save more lives. Time now for Kaplan and Crew tonight's Community Connect.
Shelter to Soldier selects dogs from shelters and rescue groups all throughout California. Our ideal candidate at Shelter to Soldier is 8 months to a year and a half old. They're confident in different environments. They have strong social drive. Another motivator like food or toy drive. And ultimately, these are dogs that want to have a job and that have a greater purpose to become a service dog. Currently, about 85% of our dogs pass their service dog training. But if they don't pass, they become a career change. We don't like to use the word failure around here. So career change to an emotional support animal, or if that doesn't work out, then they career change to a pet dog. Still finding a loving placement and purpose in life.
We are in the hope business. What we do every day and what we've done for 40 years is to provide kids and families going through critical illnesses hope that tomorrow's going to be a better day. My favorite wish is the next one, because that is the power of our organization, is to bring hope to kids who are going through something right now, and hope can't wait. So people can get involved now by donating resources. They can donate in kind. They can donate their time as volunteers. They can donate dollars, because kids are still getting diagnosed with illnesses that qualify for Make-A-Wish every day. So people can visit us online at sandiego.wish.org. They can visit us and follow us on social media. There are so many ways to get connected, and people can help in many, many different ways. We need your support now more than ever, because illness doesn't take a vacation and it doesn't take a break because of COVID-19.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Victor Howell here, host of the NCAA Tournament Special, Advance to Indianapolis. Each week, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local teams all the way to the Final Four in Indianapolis. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and more as we advance to Indianapolis on YurView.
Brought to you by the Multicultural Health Foundation. Together against COVID. Visit blackcovidfactsSD.org. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community.
Hi, I'm Erica Cardenas. Join me on the next Doing More as we celebrate the many accomplishments of women during Women's History Month.
Doing More, Sunday and Monday night on YurView. Sponsored by The Burns Firm, partnering with Shelter to Soldier and saving lives 2 at a time. Visit theburnsfirm.com/shelter to soldier and help save more lives.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio, SoCal Sports Talk.